Hello and welcome to ThePrint. I am Aamaan, and in our Great Speeches series today, we look at an address by former Prime Minister and then Lucknow MP Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It's been 20 years since the Indo-US civil nuclear deal was formally initiated on 18 July 2005, with a joint statement by then Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and US President George W. Bush. This landmark agreement, in principle, promised to end India's nuclear isolation and bring the country into the global nuclear mainstream, despite India never signing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The proposed deal would essentially allow India to access civilian nuclear technology and fuel from the international community in exchange for placing its civilian nuclear facilities under international safeguards. However, it would allow India to keep its military nuclear program separate and unsupervised. This represented a significant shift from decades of nuclear sanctions that followed India's 1998 nuclear tests in Pokhran. Why revisit this speech now? 2 decades later, the nuclear deal stands as one of the defining moments in India-US relations. Yet, Vajpayee's concerns about India's nuclear independence and strategic autonomy still appear in today's debates about India's foreign policy choices and technological sovereignty. Vajpayee delivered this speech on 3rd August 2005 during a Lok Sabha discussion on PM Manmohan Singh's statement on his recent visit to the United States. As a former PM who had overseen India's nuclear tests in 1998, Vajpayee brought unique authority to his critique of the proposed deal. His speech captured the anxieties of many who worried that India might be compromising its hard-won nuclear independence. Here is Vajpayee's complete address. Before I begin, a note. This address was in Hindi. We have translated it to English. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity to speak on the joint statement issued by India and the United States. I also extend my congratulations to the Prime Minister for his successful visit to the US, both on my behalf and that of my colleagues. Mr. Chairman, the India-US agreement covers several subjects: trade, energy, agriculture, science, technology, and terrorism. Important declarations have been made under this agreement. We welcome the growing cooperation between the two countries in trade, agriculture, and science. We support efforts to find new means of energy production. Our main concern is with the shift in India's nuclear policy. India has thus far adopted an independent nuclear policy. Our scientists have upheld this policy with dedication. Whether it is about nuclear testing or nuclear power or using nuclear energy to fight cancer, India has made major advances in all areas over the last few decades. These achievements are the result of our independent policy, which we have always kept firmly in our own hands. Whether the Congress party was in power or the NDA, one thing never changed. We never compromised on India's nuclear independence. Even when the world imposed sanctions after our tests and several countries launched diplomatic campaigns against us, we remained steadfast despite serious economic and strategic challenges. Even in those difficult times, India stuck to its independent nuclear policy. Despite possessing important nuclear weapons from a strategic perspective, we clearly stated that India would not be the first to use nuclear weapons in any war. India does not intend to use nuclear weapons against states that do not have them. We have always considered the concept of minimum credible deterrence as the core principle of our nuclear policy. We do not want to join a nuclear arms race. Even today, we are equally committed to nuclear disarmament. The world believes that India's nuclear weapons are under civilian control and oversight. This is not about pride or prestige. This is about our policy, our needs, our ambitions, and our national security. After thorough discussion, we formulated this policy. In January 2003, the Government of India clearly outlined it. The India-US agreement raises several questions about our independent nuclear policy. Mr. Chairman, I wish to raise these concerns through you. The first is regarding the commitment that India's nuclear program will be used only for civilian purposes. Mr. Chairman, the government must have certainly consulted scientists before agreeing to this condition. It must also be aware of the technical difficulties involved in this separation. But a more important question is this: will this separation impact our strategic capabilities? Mr. Chairman, in changing circumstances, India's strategic needs may also change. In this age of terrorism, who can say when and what kind of weapons we may need? Can we confidently say today? If we place limits on our strategic programs now, won't our hands be tied in the future? Mr. Chairman, The nation should be reassured about the restrictions placed on the capabilities of our nuclear weapons. Mr. Chairman, another concern in this agreement is the effort to enter into a treaty with the United States to ban the production of fissile materials. Which countries will join this treaty? Is this part of the ongoing Geneva talks? If not, does this bilateral agreement take into account India's future? Suppose some countries don't agree to the terms of this treaty. Won't this declaration lead to a unilateral ban on fissile material production? Will it not affect our national security? Mr. Chairman, our scientists are working hard to use India's abundant thorium reserves for nuclear energy production. Will these international commitments not impact those efforts? If we succeed with thorium technology, all barriers to peaceful nuclear energy use will be overcome. Mr. Chairman, this agreement does not recognize India as a nuclear weapon state. America is merely calling India a responsible state with advanced nuclear technology. Brazil, Canada, Germany, and Japan also have advanced nuclear technology, just like India. But there is one difference: they do not have nuclear weapons. Will India receive all the benefits those countries enjoy? Or will India bear the responsibilities of a nuclear weapon state without receiving any of the benefits? In such unequal circumstances, it is crucial to build a national consensus before signing this agreement. Nuclear policy is not the policy of a single party or government. We hope the House will place its confidence in the government when it moves to implement this agreement. The nuclear deal would eventually be signed in 2008 after 3 years of intense negotiations and political battles. It ended India's nuclear isolation and opened doors to civilian nuclear cooperation. Though debates about strategic autonomy versus international integration continue to shape India's foreign policy decisions today. Thank you for joining us on Great Speeches. For more from The Print, become a subscriber at theprint.in/subscribe.